Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll see major selling pressure here for the ES in overnight and pre-market trading. Here is the FOMC key level from April 28th. That's 41.7675. The previous session, we had a bearish outside day and closed right at that level. In overnight trading here, the after hours open, took that level offered, and we have now sold off throughout the pre-market. We are now holding right on top of near-term support, which is 41.25. We have a CLVN at 4100 down below. And then we also have this previous month's midpoint, which is very important. That's about 40.87s. That's going to be a key level to watch, as well as any drop into that zone could provide a bounce opportunity if we were to get there, right? You get into that zone, LVN, take out some of these lows, perhaps that leads to a bounce back up. Right now, looking for a strong low before this thing maybe turns back around and heads a little higher. If we are developing a range at highs, perhaps we could be developing some sort of expanding range here at these highs. Again, any push downward could offer an opportunity back up as we develop a range at these highs and stay above 4K. This thing could lead to much more weakness ahead if price cannot hold above the previous month's close on a closing basis. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ here, round trip. Made a round trip all the way back to the 13.090s. This is something we talked about here yesterday. We talked about it earlier last week and a couple of weeks ago as we had this range that developed around these highs. We talked about how bullish that April rally was, and the failure to really hold above the 13.9 here, and especially breaking through 13.7. All of that suggested we could be looking at a round trip back toward 13.090, and we got it. We're sitting right there at the moment. We have hit the previous quarter's close, the previous month's low, and we're sitting right at the quarterly pivot range. This is a zone right here again that has taken all of this back. Now, are we about to see a bounce back up, or do we take this area offered? Any break through 13K opens up a move back toward the bottom end of this range, as we now have developed a large trading range at these highs. You can see this kind of large range right here. We have failed to get going to the upside here. Lower high yesterday with a drop to new lows, a continuation in overnight trading. While we may not drop straight away, any bounce could be seen as a selling opportunity as this thing continues perhaps a little bit lower. So 13K is going to be that big time level right there. Again, got to find a strong low before this thing can turn around. If we take a look here at crude oil, this one down 1.4% today. We've seen a little bit of weakness here over the last couple of days. We do have this bullish Pima trigger zone that has been intact, right? It exploded out of it there, bounced here, but yesterday closed right at or just below the day's midpoint and really couldn't get going. That was an early indication of weakness. And right now, price remains again sitting right on top of that 64 level, which is clear near-term support. A hold of 64 again could bounce this thing back towards 66s. Failure to hold 64s could rotate this thing back toward the monthly midpoint. That is a very important level here, 61.40. Failure to hold that level could rotate things even lower. But this thing has been poised for more upside. It's been in an uptrending market. Still holding those 64s right now. That's a clear intraday and multi-day support level. Continue to watch that zone. A failure to hold that level could open up more weakness down into the 62 to 61.50 zone. Let's take a look now at gold futures. With gold here, we've seen this thing really move higher over the last few days. We did get a little bit of a holding day here and kind of pulling back, but we reached a high of 1846.30. So if you recall from this day back over here, we were looking for a move that could take us as high as 1850 and maybe even 1875s, right? That 1874.30 is the key range level. But we do have a major overhead resistance level in terms of a trend line that is significant, and it kind of comes in right about where we are. So this is going to be the line to watch here You can see right across those highs, it comes in at about 1850. This market has been in kind of that downtrending channel. Are we going to find some sort of rejection up here that leads us back down within the channel, or can we continue to push higher? 1800 will be that key level right now to watch, because theoretically we can drop as low as 1800 and continue to hold that level for a continuation higher, again to get that 1850, 1875, and maybe even higher toward 1960. So 1800 the key level here on this pullback. Can you find a higher low that leads us higher? That's going to be the goal. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.